Hi, this is Shadi. Recently, I did a video about the UFC 7 fight that took place between a judoka and a karateka, and a lot of people mentioned that karate is a wrestling system with strikes, or a lot of striking with somewhat competence in wrestling. And indeed, this is true. Back in the past, karate used to be far different, and a lot of you mentioned references, and you were very respectful and very courteous, and I really appreciate that. So I went on a little bit of research based on those references, like Milo Stanic, McCarthy, and the Bubishi. And I find some techniques that I haven't covered in the past, so this is what we will do today. So this one here is your basic throat grab found in the Bubishi. So this can be done either someone after they fall or in the standing setup, as you see here. And of course, I will link in the description all that you need to know about my research. So this one is clearly a grappling technique, and it can be done to subdue someone or even end their life. So this is a very dangerous technique. Of course, you're not gonna see it in Olympic karate today. So here you see Milo Stanic doing it. Of course, it's very debatable if it's a throat grab or a throat thrust, but from all the reading material that there are, and even Milo Stanic says that from what he trained with Okinawan masters, it can be indeed done with the hair or grabbing the throat. Now, this second one is very interesting. This is a very jiu-jitsu or old jiu-jitsu technique, and you're gonna see some reference linking it. So this one here is after you have fallen down. It is not completely over, so you hook the ankle with your own ankle, and then you kick the knee backward, causing them to fall down. I would say this is a very light form or a light variation of kani basami, a scissor takedown, because you are indeed scissoring the leg and taking them down. It's not a sutemi per se, like the one you would see in old Kodokan Judo, but it's done after someone had fallen down. Here is another example of it. This is from Yuki Otani's early students, like from the Victorian or the early Edwardian era. Here you see them doing it, where he was training the females to defend themselves using no strength, and even when they didn't have the advantage body-wise. Here you see she's hooking the ankle as she is stepping forward, and she's kicking the knee and then proceeds. Another technique is, of course, the arm lock, but you know, as anyone knows, Yuki Otani is a jujitsuka, and we can see that this is very easily a grappling technique. So I don't mind to have a kani basami like this, or a kani basami that looks like this in this video. So here he does a kataguruma. He gets taken down with his legs, and he turns around into a kani basami. Let's see it slowly. So double leg turns into kani basami. I don't mind this type of kani basami to be introduced back into competition. A lot of us rotate to our stomach to avoid the throw, and if we can finish it from there as a kani basami, scoring yuko, I don't have a problem. But this is the real problem. You see, you have someone yanking your upper body to the side, putting so much pressure on your knee with their own hips and legs, and their weight falling sideways. So it can be either your knee and of course your ankle. We've seen this injury in videos many times, even till this day with Noki Jiu-Jitsu. This injury is still happening, and it's because of this dropping heavy weight on a particular joint or ligament. So this kani basami from the ground, following it from a failed throw, is also a good way if you want to reintroduce it in a safe way. Now, this one is from Milo Stanic himself. He says Okinawan teachers have taught him this, the rear naked choke, hada kajime. He says that the reference kata is the basai, so I'm assuming he's talking about the basai dive. So I watched the kata and the bunkai, like this disassemblement of the kata, and I didn't see anything where someone is choking someone in hada kajime. I've seen many examples. Maybe it's a different kata or a different variation of the kata. Again, I'm not a karateka, so if you have more information about this, I would welcome it. But I wouldn't say that he's lying or anything, because hada kajime can be found all around the world in any grappling setup where, you know, choking is allowed. So hadakajime, this is the basic form of it. Now you have where you palm your bicep and block the carotid arteries, but this is the basic form where you drive the forearm bone into the trachea and causing a choke, not a strangle. There's a big difference. So this is the main one. It looks very much like what Milos did in the photo. Now the next one is Sutemi Waza, which I was very pleased and surprised to find in the bubishi, of course. So you see he has both his legs on the ground, so this is more like a really going down under and pushing him so they can really do a mayukemi or mawari ukemi, like a spinning falling to the front, or if they cannot fall down to the front properly as we are trained, it's gonna cause the opponent a lot of trouble. But this is not a tomoe nage. I'm sure someone has thought of putting the leg up, but this looks very much like you see in Koshiki no Kata or Kitoryu Jiu-Jitsu, as you see here, really unbalancing someone and really throwing them forward. Here you see after a strike, you grip sleeve lapel kuzushi, dropping and doing a Sutemi Waza. Very similar, no leg needed if done correctly. Closest thing to it in today's Kodokan, Gokyo, is your Yoko Wakare. So here you see the kuzushi stepping to the side and from there doing it. There's many ways to do it, like Udegaishi is a form of Yoko Wakare. It's very dangerous. It's done only in Newaza in today's Judo, but this is the basic form of Yoko Wakare. Here you can see it back in the day in the bubishi. So it's nice to see also Sutemi, not just, you know, your basic Osoto Otoshi, Rouchigari, and Deashi Harai, like you see in a lot of these striking disciplines with a little bit of throwing techniques. It's nice to see Sutemi. It's nice to see these throat grabs, Hadakajime. Of course, there is the elbow locking technique like Wakigatame, standing, all these things that are very much known to all the karatekas and all the fighters around the world. But these ones I found to be interesting because not many actually talk about them. So regarding the Pasai Kata, if anyone has anything else to add, I would greatly appreciate it when it comes to the rear naked choke. And if you have anything else to add, please let me know down below. Also, consider supporting me on Patreon for exclusive content only. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.